We have all been deceived. Jupiter does not protect Earth at all. He is a ticking time bomb going crazy. Regarding that comet impact in 1994, you thought Jupiter took bullets for Earth. But scientists just discovered it slingshots asteroids past it into the inner solar system. Like a madman shooting blindly with a slingshot. And the next one flung over might head straight for Earth. Even more bizarre, Jupiter's red spot is visibly shrinking in size. 30 years ago, it could swallow 3 Earths. Now, it can barely swallow one. NASA's probe filmed that a strange, singing sound comes from the red spot. That is plasma twisting in Jupiter's field, making a howl. But what makes skin crawl most is the frequency of this sound is rising year by year, as if something is slowly waking up. Is that all? In December 2024, in the final photo sent back by Juno, Jupiter's North Pole showed a hexagonal vortex never seen before. Exactly the same as that bizarre hexagon on Saturn. But the problem, Saturn has rings, Jupiter has none. Scientists still have not figured out how this hexagon appeared out of thin air. And what really made NASA block the news is that someone analyzing this photo discovered there is a small dot right at the center of that hexagonal vortex. It reflects no light, as if something inside Jupiter is looking out. Some say it is Jupiter's exposed core, some say a space-time rift. And the craziest guess is that it is a gateway leading elsewhere. So the question is, if Jupiter wakes up, how much time will humanity have? To answer this question, I must first debunk the lie in sci-fi movies. Many people think that just by igniting Jupiter, we can push Earth away. But astrophysicists will coldly tell you that this is purely a collective suicide for all mankind, with almost no oxygen in Jupiter's atmosphere. Even bringing all of Earth's oxygen there, you can't spark this cosmic match. Stepping back, even if you really manage to ignite it, the nuclear fusion energy unleashed by Jupiter would, within minutes, turn Earth to ash, directly into a boiling fireball. Even the crust would melt in an instant. You thought Jupiter was just a gas tank? No, it is the most brutal butcher in the solar system. In the Kali era 4.5 billion years ago, the newly formed Jupiter never intended to protect Earth, relying on its terrifying mass, which is 2.5 times that of all other planets. It launched a charge straight toward the Sun. Along the way, countless planet embryos that were forming were torn to pieces by its terrifying gravity. Look at why Mars is so small now. It could have grown larger than Earth and harbored life earlier. But Jupiter passed by like a bandit, directly draining 90% of Mars's mass, leaving it forever locked in a desolate state of ruins. Since Jupiter is a butcher, how did Earth manage to escape back then? Because the universe sent a tug of war for mankind. As Jupiter was about to crush Earth's orbit, Saturn was born. Saturn's gravity tightly pulled back on Jupiter, creating a wonderful orbital resonance. Right after that, Uranus and Neptune also joined this epic cosmic tug-of-war, dragging this rampaging beast back outside. But the script of fate is always crazier than the movies. Right at the moment Jupiter was kicked back to its hometown, its massive gravity shifts hurled countless ice blocks from the outer system into the inner regions like a rainstorm. These ice blocks bombarded the newly formed Earth, bringing over 131.1 billion tons of water, which would be, today, 60% of the water molecules in Earth's oceans. They're the isotopic signatures of glaciers from the outer solar system. If Jupiter hadn't made that screeching halt, there wouldn't be any oceans on Earth, let alone you scrolling videos on your phone. It came close to destroying us, yet, by a twist of fate, it created us. But don't you dare feel grateful to it, because the interior of this planet is a bottomless abyss where physics completely breaks down. Suppose today you put on humanity's sturdiest spacesuit and jump into Jupiter from space. What do you see? First, you wouldn't find any ground at all. Jupiter is a gaseous monster. What welcomes you is an extreme cold of minus 140 degrees, and winds blowing at 200 meters per second. The howling winds here mix with ice, slicing your body like millions of scalpels. In 1995, humanity's launched Galileo probe endured this atmosphere for a mere 15 minutes before the terrifying force 23x Earth pressure completely crushed it, making it a part of Jupiter forever. But this is just the start. If you could miraculously continue to fall downward and pass 1,000 kilometers of clouds, the temperature would skyrocket. Extreme pressure forces hydrogen gas to liquefy into a liquid state, You wouldn't fall, but rather plunging into a bottomless ocean of liquid hydrogen. Sinking down, you dive deeper. When pressure hits 30 million atmospheres, atoms break. Electrons of hydrogen atoms are stripped away, turning into the universe's most bizarre sci-fi substance, liquid metallic hydrogen. That's right, this ocean inside Jupiter is harder than steel. Yet it flows like water. Its core hits 90,000 degrees, 5 times hotter than the sun's surface. This boiling metal ocean, combined with Jupiter's fast rotation, turns into a super dynamo capable of destroying everything, releasing a magnetic field 10,000 times Earth's. If any unprotected living organism gets close, its cells will be like an egg placed in a microwave, bursting instantly from the inside out. This is also why the current Juno probe must wear 180 kilograms of titanium alloy armor, braving radiation, taking 1 million X-rays in a row, just to dare steal a closer look. What despairs scientists is the data Juno sent at risk of its life overturned human astronomical understanding. We thought at the deepest part of Jupiter there was a solid rocky heart just like Earth's. But the gravity data mocked us relentlessly. Jupiter's core turns out to be fuzzy. Its center is a pot with no clear boundaries, a cosmic stew made by mixing liquid metal and solid matter together. It is like a terrifying, underdeveloped freak. Only one final step away from igniting nuclear fusion. Yet eternally imprisoned in a dark cage. And this freak's temper is becoming more bizarre. On its surface, that famous Great Red Spot is actually a super hurricane roaring for 300 years. Its depth exceeds 320 kilometers, nearly 100 times Earth's ocean depth. The wind speed is even faster than a rifle bullet. But Hubble's continuous 90-day gaze revealed a hair-raising phenomenon. This storm, once filling 3 Earths, is trembling. It gets squashed one moment and stretched out the next, like a giant beast in its death throes. More counterintuitive, though the Great Red Spot is shrinking. Its vertical height is soaring crazily, as if an invisible skyscraper rises from the ground. The latest simulation has given a countdown to death. If it stops devouring small storms to live, this monster observed for centuries will completely perish in just 950 days. By that time, the energy suppressed for billions of years, in what way will it erupt? No one dares to imagine. But if you think Jupiter is the biggest boss in the script, you are wrong. The real ultimate suspense is hidden right by its side. Jupiter possesses an astonishing 95 moons. It is a miniature solar system. Among them, there is one needed repeatedly by Jupiter's gravity. A volcanic hell. This hell is Io. Its surface is packed and distributed with over 400 superactive volcanoes. The erupted magma plumes shoot 500 kilometers high, with surface temperatures as high as 1,610 degrees, melting steel instantly. But what makes humanity hold its breath is another moon. Iceball. Scientists made a shocking discovery. Beneath its thick ice sheet, there hides a deep sea that is twice as larger than Earth's oceans. Active volcanoes are on the bed, continuously providing energy. This is simply the perfect cradle of life in the solar system. Right within its icy plumes, humanity captured organic molecules and signs of metabolism. Those red streaks on the ice are likely traces of alien deep-sea creatures. Back in 2024, carrying the hopes of all humanity, the Europa Clipper launched into space, specifically to find life. The spacecraft will arrive in the Jupiter system in 2030 to drill through that solid ice and seek a new life in the universe never seen before. Once found, humanity's worldview will completely collapse. We won't be alone. If you look up at night and see the brightest star in the night sky, whatever you do, do not look away. It is the god of destruction that nearly tore Earth apart, and the mother of creation that gave us our ocean. With 4.51 billion years of violence and restraint, it imprisons the most terrifying storm, and may also nurture the most incredible miracle. The deepest cosmic secret has been under the gaze of that great red spot. As if it is guarding, as if it is waiting.